So today I'm going to talk a little more about decluttering, Marie Kondo, and I cannot say minimalism because I'm not a minimalist, but it's kind of going in this direction. So of course, for the people who are watching my videos because of the music and because of Hollis and Tok Tok, you are going to be very disappointed. However, you must know that Hollis liked minimalism. He put a lot of silence on his music. I read somewhere, I don't remember where I read that, I read somewhere that his studio was very empty, that he liked empty spaces, and I think that at a point everything was painted in orange or something like that, because it was a color which was inspiring him, and he really liked when it was completely empty. So did I arrive on the minimalism and the decluttering aspect because of Hollis? No. I will do that in another video. I will tell you how I arrived on that, but it's something that I've had in myself since a very long time. However, I cannot say that I'm a minimalist. I'm not. I cannot say that I'm a hoarder either. It's very strange for me. Okay, so today I'm going to start with Marie Kondo. So everybody is talking about Marie Kondo and the KonMari Method because a series has been released on Netflix, and suddenly everybody is discovering that. She released this book I think 4 or 5 years ago, 2014, so 5 years ago. I think that I bought it 2014 or 2015. So I ordered it on Amazon, and once I ordered it, they offered me to listen to it on Amazon before I receive it. So I listened to it. In one day, I was cleaning and at the same time listening to the book, the audio book, and then when I received it, I read it again, and then I read it again a second time. If you watch the series on Netflix, I however recommend that you read it or that you listen to it, because then you will understand what they are talking about in the series. Otherwise, you're not going to understand, and you are going to pass beside the spirit of what is behind. She wrote a second book that I just started, but I didn't read completely yet. The name is SPARKS. She explains a little more deeply, but I recommend the first one. You don't have to read the second one. Don't read the second one as long as you haven't read the first one, because the first one is really the most important. I also have, I just read a few pages, but I didn't read it yet. This one is The Art of Discarding, How to Get Rid of Clutter and Find Joy by Nagisa Tatsumi. It's also a Japanese woman, I think. It's what inspired Marie Kondo to write her book. So I like to go to the source, so I bought that. The principle is, of course, to declutter your home, to make space in your home, to feel better when you come back home, feel less anxious and overwhelmed by your mess. I'm not the best example of what I'm talking about because my house is right now a mess. I'm not showing you because it's a mess. I'm saying that and I look at around me, it's a catastrophe. Anyway, a catastrophe for me because usually I like order. You wouldn't believe me, but I do like order and I like when it's clean. I'm not going to show you, I'm so ashamed of myself. Anyway, the principle is to make space in your home. The principle is to have things that you like. You don't keep things which are not useful, that you don't like. There is an order in the things. So you start with the clothes because according to her it's the easiest. And I think she's right. Maybe for someone who loves clothes, clothing, fashion, for someone who creates dresses, or designer. For someone who is a fashion designer, maybe clothes is not the simplest. But for someone normal who is not especially attached to clothes, I think it's the easiest. For me, it's very easy to get rid of clothes when I don't need them. Her second category is books. So for me, that is much more difficult. Why? I'm not especially a writer. I just wrote one book which was released in France. But I really love books and I use my books and I'm attached to my books. So for me, it's not only a tool for my work, but it's also something sentimental or inspiring. So for me, books is very complicated. Then she suggests that you tackle papers. So papers for me is very easy because if I could, I would throw everything. I know how to make the difference between what is absolutely necessary to keep and what I can throw. And actually, I'm not throwing my papers, I'm shredding them. So it's great because then once they are shred, I don't know how we say. I take the shredded part and I use them in my packaging when I send packages. It's a good way to pack the things which could break during the shipping. So I like this idea of recycling something, you know. Then it's what she calls komono. It's not kimono, but komono. It's the miscellaneous things. So it's basically all the rest. But actually I tackled all the rest before the books and before the papers. You know, I think that you must do it how it's convenient for you. Read the book, understand the book, and then do something for yourself from it. What I like in her book is that she tells you to take all the clothes in the house, your clothes, not the clothes of your son, of your husband, or your wife, or your, I don't know, children, whatever. No, only yours, because each person must take care of his or her own stuff. It makes sense, I think. So, she suggests you take all your clothes and you put them on the floor or on your bed, and so you see how much you have. I did that twice. It's really overwhelming because suddenly you realize how much you have, and it's insane, it's crazy, and suddenly you realize that you don't need so much. I don't have a capsule wardrobe now, but I'm getting there. I think that soon I will be there. But if you add the socks, underwears, the bags, the shoes, the hats, the scarves, that's my problem. I have a problem with bag and scarves. I love scarves, I love bags. I don't care about shoes. No problem with the shoes. I like to be comfortable in my shoes. If I'm not comfortable, if I'm not wearing them, out. I don't care about the clothes, but the bags and the scarves, that is my problem. So I have to work on that. So I've been watching videos on YouTube on the subject, and I'm very surprised to see how people take care of their clothes. They have some on the floor, in their closet, on the floor, everywhere. It's a mess. Everything is thrown down on the floor or on the chairs. Or it's like if they put such a mess before shooting a video, because how someone can live like that, I don't know. And I'm not especially a maniac, you know, but I like to take care minimum of my things, you know. I usually never put my clothes on the floor, never, because I have a cat and there is some cat hair on the floor and it's not clean. You bring things from outside and it's dirty. Even if you broom or if you clean every day, it's never perfect on the floor. So I don't understand how people can be so messy. Every time I watch that, I'm like, what? Anyway, I usually wear something. When I remove my clothes at night, I put them on a chair. The next day, I put them in my hamper to be clean, to be washed. And once the hamper is a little full, I decide to wash my clothes, and I wash them in the washing machine. Then I put them in the dryer or not, it depends what it is. And then once they are dry, I fold them according to the Marie Kondo method, and then I bring them back where they are supposed to be. So, or I hang them, or I put them in my chest, my drawer chest. It's not very complicated. Usually I fold my clothes while watching a video or while watching Netflix, so it's not annoying. I do that automatically. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's true that I always love doing laundry, so maybe some people don't like doing that, I don't know. I always love that. I even like ironing. I don't like to open my ironing board, but once I'm ironing, I cannot stop. I love doing that. So, yes, maybe I'm special about that. I don't know. What sparks joy? Because I heard very different explanation for what sparks joy. For some people, what sparks joy is if a clothes reminds you a good memory. For example, I'm wearing this, which by the way I bought in a thrift store. I paid it maybe $2. I'm wearing it only in winter because in summer it's too hot in Los Angeles to wear that. I'm wearing it mostly at home because it's not a cardigan, it's like a poncho, so you know there are no sleeves, but it's very convenient when I'm at home. It's warm, I like it. So does it spark joy? Yes, when I see it, I think, oh, such a great deal. I got a very good deal with this thing, and I like the colors. If you have a good memory, you wore that dress, and it reminds you when you were with your husband and you did this and that. For me, what sparks joy, it's when it's comfortable. I like to be comfortable in my clothes. So if there is something I'm very comfortable in it and I feel that I don't look ugly in it, I'm going to keep it because I know that I'm going to wear it. So it brings to another thing. If the thing is useful, I mean, if you have a piece of clothes that you wear all the time, you are comfortable in it, it looks good on you, and it's useful because you are wearing it all the time, I think somehow that sparks joy. I mean, you feel good in it when you put it on, so it's a way of sparking joy, I suppose. It's a concept which is not obvious to explain. For me, it's easier to show something which doesn't spark joy, which reminds me bad memories. For example, I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to sell a jacket that I bought in London in 1997, so 22 years ago. I bought it at Jigsaw, so it's a jacket which is padded and with a faux fur collar. I'm going to sell it. Why? Because the size is not good anymore for me. It's very bulky and big here and very narrow on the hips, so I don't feel comfortable in it. It has always been like that. It was very expensive, and no, it doesn't spark joy. First, because it doesn't fit me. Second, I can only remember that I had an argument with my ex-husband the day I bought it. So that is really not something which sparks joy. And I tried it yesterday, and it was not fitting me anymore. And I thought, okay, it's time to sell it, and if I don't sell it, I will donate it, and that's it. And I don't need that anymore in my life. It has been useful during a while. It was warm, yes. I've never been very comfortable in it, and it always reminded me an argument. So that is, we must not keep things like that in our closet. So something which is in good quality, does it spark joy? Yes, it sparks joy if you use it. Because something which is in good, very good quality, maybe you paid a lot for it, but if you never wear it, what's the point of keeping that? Once again, it's the concept of sparking joy is not very obvious. I heard yesterday or 2 days ago in a video someone who was saying that what sparks joy is the last trend. That's not true for me. For me, no. This thing, I bought it like, I don't know, at least 6 years ago. So it's not the last trend. It was probably made in the 70s. It has a very hippie feeling. It was the kind of thing we were wearing when I was a child. So it is certainly not the last trend, and still it brings me joy. So I don't think that it's the last trend unless you are someone who wants to be very, very trendy. That's not my case. I cannot care less. Of course, I don't want to look ridiculous when I go outside. I don't want to look like if I'm from another period, but I don't try to be really in no matter what. So for example, a few years ago I bought this. So it's very eccentric. It's like slippers, boots, slippers for the home. And I bought that, and what I like is that inside, look, it's purple, pink purple, and it's washable in a washing machine. It's very warm, and I bought it during Christmas period at Target, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And when I bought them, I was like, am I going to wear them? Because it's still very warm. And Los Angeles is it's hot in Los Angeles most of the time. And I thought, okay, if I don't wear them, I will sell them. And actually, I'm so glad that I bought that, because in winter, it's really very cold here. Really, really, really very cold. And even in my home, even with the heater, my feet are cold. And I love wearing that in my house. I don't know if you see, and it's so cute, and it's very eccentric. Of course, it's not what I call something very elegant. But you know, when I'm alone and my feet are cold, that sparks joy, because I'm like, I'm going to have my feet warm thanks to that. So, and I remember it was on sale. I don't know, I paid them even not $10. I think it was something like $8. It was on sale. And I'm so glad that I did, because this winter I have worn them like crazy since at least 2 months. So, and every year I wear them, every year. I keep things that I don't necessarily wear in Los Angeles, because I have outfits for Paris and other for Los Angeles. It's not necessarily the same, because in Los Angeles we are more relaxed. Most of the time it's hot, so it's more a summery wardrobe. And in Paris, it's a little more stiff, it's a little more dark. I mean, the clothes are more black, gray, and warmer, because even if it's warm in Paris, it's never as hot as in Los Angeles. I'm not very often in Paris. I'm basically almost never. I could say it's not necessary that I keep my things for Paris, because I'm almost never there. However, I'm glad that I have these things, because this winter was especially cold in Los Angeles, and I've been wearing things that I have not worn in 15 years, and that I'm glad to have here now, and they still fit me. So I'm really glad to have coats and things like that that I usually wear in Paris, and that I'm now wearing in Los Angeles, very surprisingly actually. When you are going to sort your stuff, what you should wonder is, did I wear this thing a lot before? Because if you have something that you never wear, what's the point of keeping it? Unless you know that you are going to wear it for a specific occasion or for a specific place, like for me, the stuff that I have for Paris. If you know that you are not going to wear it and that you didn't wear it during a very long time, maybe it's better to get rid of it. Another question you can ask to yourself is, will I wear it? Because sometimes I come across something that I really love. I like the print, I like the way it's made, I like the fabric. But when I ask the question, am I going to wear that? Usually the answer is, I don't think so. So if the answer is, I don't think so, same thing, what's the point of keeping it? Another good question is, if I go in a store and I don't have this one, will I buy it again? Very often the answer is no. Very often you buy something in a period and later you wouldn't have bought that. For example, I love prints. As you can see, I love prints. I love different colors. I like what is colorful. I'm passionate about prints, and maybe because I like to make stencils, I like to paint, and I like beautiful fabrics with beautiful prints. But honestly, to wear them, it's not easy, because, for example, you can't wear a pants with one print and the top with another print. Yes, you can do that if you have a boho chic style and you want to look eccentric, but sometimes it's a little tiring to look like a clown when you go outside and everybody is looking at you, you know. So of course you don't dress yourself to please other people, you must dress yourself for yourself. However, it's complicated when you have to make an outfit, because can I wear that with that? No. Oh, I should have a pants which is I don't know, solid black. I don't have that. How I'm going to wear that? It's complicated. For example, I have a passion for stripes. So stripes, t-shirts striped, striped t-shirts, you know, blue and white, red and white, blue and red, and I love stripes everywhere. Yes. But when you have a pants which also has some stripes, then it becomes a little more complicated. And if the pants is not completely long and you can see a little of your socks and the socks have stripes too, then you become ridiculous. So now I've changed my way of buying stuff. I automatically go to solid colors, because I don't want to have stripes anymore. I don't want to have polka dots anymore. I don't want to have stars anymore. I don't want to have prints anymore. It's so much easier to take a jean, a blue jean, a black pants, a gray t-shirt, a black cardigan, or a black jacket, or a brown jacket, and a black pair of shoes. Of course, it's a little boring maybe for some people, but in the morning it's so easier to get dressed like that. So lately it really changed my way of buying things. I can have prints on my curtains, on the tablecloth, I don't know, even on a bag if I want to, but on myself I try to stay a little more sober. Except for that, if you have something that you love but the size is not good anymore, forget it. Get rid of it, unless you know that you are going to lose some weight, or unless you know that you are going to gain some weight. But if it's not your size anymore, get rid of it, because seriously, keeping things just by hoping that soon you are going to be able to wear it, it's ridiculous. Unless you were pregnant and you know once the baby is born, that you are going to lose your weight and that you are going to wear this thing again. That I get it. But now when I see that a pair of pants is too small for me, I don't keep it. If a t-shirt is too small and I'm so tight in it that I can't breathe, no, forget it. So that is a good way to get rid of stuff. So spark joy, yes, but what is the right definition of spark joy? I think that the spark joy thing works better for objects like miscellaneous object, like, I don't know, a vase, a tray, a cup, things like that, because it doesn't have to suit you. It's not something that you are wearing on yourself. Shoes also. If your shoes hurt you, your feet, get rid of them. My feet changed a lot. I wear so many times in the year, so many days I'm wearing flip-flops, and my feet completely changed, and I had to get rid of a lot of shoes because I couldn't put them on anymore, and anyway I was not wearing them anymore. So same thing, I sold some, I'm giving away or donate some. I've been doing that since, well, actually I've been doing that, sorting my stuff, my whole life, but more seriously since 4 or 5 years. And I would say that basically every 6 months I do it, and little by little I'm arriving at I think that soon I will be at a capsule wardrobe. Even the bags, I manage little by little to get rid of them or to sell them. I suggest, if you read this book, if it speaks to you, try to do it, but try to read it again maybe 6 months later or 1 year later, and do it again, because we evolve a lot. I think that it needs to sink in the brain, and little by little we accept getting rid of things more and more. It becomes easier and easier. So I recommend that you try. You give it a try. If it doesn't work for you, you don't have to do it. I mean, it's not mandatory, it's just for you. The aim of all this is to make you feel better in your home. I know what I'm talking about because I practice a lot, but I have so much stuff that I think it's a work of years. We must start somewhere, you know. It's not because I have a lot that I should say, stop, I'm not going to do it because anyway I still have too much stuff. No, I must start somewhere. Clothes for me is easy. Books for me is more complicated. Objects for me is easy. So I start where I can, and little by little I will come to it completely, and once I have good results I will show you. I could talk the whole day. I try to make my videos shorter now. I don't think I managed to do it. We will see. I will edit my video and we will see. Anyway, if you like this video and you want more like this, please don't forget to give me a thumb up. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.